Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. I wanted to hop on today. Let's see if anybody joins. To briefly talk about, and how fitting is it that I'm talking about alcohol today on St. Patrick's Day, but caffeine, alcohol, and anxiety. How does it affect anxiety, right? So I first wanted to just start off by sharing that I know this is kind of like a sensitive topic to a lot of people because they love their coffee or they like to have their, glass of wine after work or whatever, and they don't want anybody to tell them anything different that it's messing with anything, right? Because they want to have that. And I'm not saying that for you and your body that, what's up, Dad, that it's not going to work for you. But for me, it didn't. And I know at first it felt like to me too that some higher power was out there saying like, oh yeah, you out there, you can have your, glass of wine, you can have your coffee, you can have fun. You over there, you can have fun. But Carolyn, oh no, no fun for you. Because I really used to like to always have my Dunkin' Donuts coffee. I mean, every morning on the way to work, years and years ago, of course, but it was stop at Dunkin' Donuts, get my coffee with cream and sugar. I mean, my large one and my muffin, and yeah, that's the way I started my day. And then I just started to notice though that it made me feel not good. It made me feel, it gave me kind of like increased anxiety symptoms. So, I reluctantly started to lay off of it because it wasn't working for me, right? And then alcohol was the same. It made me feel, I didn't know what was creating it. I just knew a lot of times when I went out and I had some drinks, I didn't feel right. I just did not feel right. I did get increased heart rate. I just felt really anxious. So it was just something that I didn't like, right? And yet I was in college and just after college, and this is what everybody did socially, and so you don't want to feel awkward, right? And so you just you maybe have one or two. I would just kind of lessen it, right, to make it a little bit easier for me to enjoy it, but still be able to fit in. But I got to the point now in my life where I just don't, I don't drink, and guess what? Nobody cares. Nobody notices. And if you are even like, you could still do everything you used to do. If you're still, going out with your friends and going out, drinking and things like that, of course they're going to initially notice and be like, what's up? What's going on? But after you're just like, it's just not sitting right with me, whatever, and you just go out and you just have your good time anyways, it's going to be like become not a big deal to them. Like, trust me with that. They don't care because they're doing what they want to do. They're having fun. And you know what? You're still going to have a lot of fun, because what I found is when everybody else would be drinking, your inhibitions, even though you haven't been drinking, lower as well, because they're not going to even like care or remember what you're doing, right? So anyways, I know for some people it could feel really awkward to think that they might want to give that up, and they might not even really look at how is it making them feel. But if you take some time to look at how it makes you feel, and you find that maybe you think that it's making you feel increased anxiety symptoms, it might be something you want to think about. And let me just also share that I personally don't do any alcohol or any caffeine anymore, but this, just because it doesn't make me feel good. But for some people, once they kind of get through their more intense anxiety, they could add some of that back in and feel fine with it. So I don't want you to feel like if I do decide to take a step back from caffeine and or alcohol, that's it forever, and that's not true. It's not true across the board. So all right, so why, excuse me, I just wanted to touch on why caffeine and alcohol can affect our anxiety. So number one, it's because, let me cross this off because I see some people joining. I don't know if I'm not seeing comments or I'm just seeing if anybody's commenting. I haven't seen it. So I can always go back and answer any questions later or say, hey, if you're on. So anyways, caffeine and alcohol both affect us chemically. Okay, so let's just start with caffeine. Of course, it's a stimulant, right? That's why we drink it, right? To wake us up. So it's going to speed things up. It's also going to increase the release of stress hormones, which is, if you're experiencing heightened levels of anxiety, something you don't need, right? You don't need more of those stress hormones. You already got too many of those flowing, right? And that increase of stress hormones gives you more energy, but it could feel like really too much energy if you're someone that's really having a lot of anxiety. So you can get the palpitations, you know, the pounding heart, jittery, nervous feeling, maybe nauseous and all that. So, and just like, ugh, not good, right? And then alcohol. How does alcohol affect our anxiety? Well, it can, first of all, it can lower your blood sugar, which is what it really did to me. I had my blood sugar was really, really sensitive, and it would lower my blood sugar. And if you've never had low blood sugar before, it just feels like you're really weak. You feel like you're about to pass out. And feeling that way, it probably would increase my anxiety because I just didn't feel right. You can't think straight, you get a really foggy brain and all that. That's what happens when you have low blood sugar. So in addition to that, it can affect our sleep. And if we're not getting good sleep, that affects our anxiety levels. And alcohol also slows the production of certain neurotransmitters in the brain, which are responsible for slowing down worry and intrusive thoughts. Something I didn't know, right? So it all made sense why these things bothered me. You know, and I know giving these things up kind of goes against what seems like the norm in our society. You know, it tells us we have a hard day, you know, have a glass of wine or a couple drinks with your friends, or just unwind, you know, at the end of the day with alcohol. If you're busy and overwhelmed, which let's face it, I know very few people that are like, oh no, I'm not too busy. Oh no, I don't feel overwhelmed with having too much to do in my life. But how do they come at that? They come at that through, you know, caffeine a lot of times to try to get them through. So, you know, I wanted to say, first of all, if you're doing the caffeine, like to wake you up, ideally you'd be getting more sleep, but that's a whole nother topic. But just try instead, if you are interested in trying to kind of wean off some of the caffeine, try a big glass of like lemon water, a big glass of water in the morning. Actually, a lot of your kind of tired, groggy feeling in the morning is due to dehydration from being asleep the whole night. And that will really perk you up a lot more than you think it will. So it's something to try, right? But if you are weaning off caffeine, yes, you could still expect sometimes some symptoms with weaning off, but the more hydrated you can keep yourself, the better you can take care of yourself during that time, the easier of a road it will be for you. But this is something that we are going to be coming at for the Inflammatory Elimination Spring Clean, which starts in just 2 weeks, people. So if you are interested in trying to come at anxiety through the area of nutrition, but I guess not just that, because I'm going to be having us do some other exercises too that come at it through mindset. But if you really want to hit it hard for 3 weeks with us, to, you know, really reset your body, lower your anxiety, get feeling really good, I put in the notes to just send me a private message or shoot me an email. Did I say shoot me an email and I didn't put my email in there? I'll put my email in there. And so that's it, y'all. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. And if you have any questions, pop them in the comments and I will answer those for you. You take care. Bye-bye now.